going on, guys? Gilroy here, and I'm just going to give you my impressions on the PlayStation 4 launch announcements. Now, I know I'm late getting this out, but I had to do all my homework first, and there was a lot of it, so let's just say it is currently 5:30 a.m. and I just finished my homework. So there was, there was a lot of it, but so I was not able to watch the event live. I only got the secondhand information, but what I saw, I was actually very, very impressed with. As we know, Sony lost the last generation. They lost to Xbox. And I mean, if you think that's not, you can like one better, but you can't say, you can't say that they didn't lose. That's just lying, and that's just, if you're not lying, then you're in denial, or just stupid. They lost the war. Now that doesn't mean that there's necessarily a worse system. They just didn't do as well. They didn't sell as well. They were not perceived as well. Those are just facts. This generation, I think it's going to be pretty dang tough to beat them with what they've announced. Really good specs, which I do believe that Xbox will be pretty close to, if not just as good. Let me first off start off by saying that the Wii U does not count in this generation, or I guess the next generation, because the Wii U is just now this generation. What is it, 7 years, 6 years, 7 years, 7 years after, 6.5 years after, the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3 came out, Nintendo came out with their current generation. Because if you think that the Wii was current generation, you're an idiot. And if you think that Wii U is next generation, you're an idiot. No offense to all those idiots out there, it's just not true. If you look at the specs and the things that it's offering, it's this generation. It's got a touchscreen. Oh no, those haven't been around. That's it. Other than that, there's nothing about it. It's just now in HD. So I'm not counting that as part of a next generation console thing. I'm also not going to count the Ouya, just because it's kind of in a thing of its own. I personally am looking forward to the Ouya, but I'm not going to count that. This is really just between Sony and Xbox here. So in order to beat them, it's going to be pretty dang tough, because the specs, like I said, are really good, impressive. They haven't boxed themselves in at all. They've got, got a lot of stuff that they can offer as time goes on. And the launch lineup. If you, not necessarily everything that was shown tonight will necessarily be a launch lineup. They didn't say that. But the exclusives obviously will be. And if you're going to bring in a new Infamous, which was a surprise to me, new Killzone, that game I think it was called Knack, that is going to be probably something that'll turn out to be pretty cool. I don't know if it'll be the greatest game ever. They released 6 PS4 trailers tonight, and it just looks amazing. Now the 8 gigs of RAM is just gonna make everything so much easier, so it'll actually be able to handle high processing power, which it's got going on now. So bottom line is that if Xbox doesn't announce at E3 and release in 2013, they're going to lose the console war this generation. Irrelevant of if their system's as good, worse, or better, they're just plain going to lose. Because with how ready everybody is to get out of this generation, and how bad this generation was, if they're not out at the same time, then it's not going to work. And the hype right now is going to be building for the PS4 until anything else is announced about the Xbox. Right now, all there is the PS4. If Xbox isn't released this year, and you guys probably know, I'm an Xbox guy. I only have my PlayStation over there just for God of War and Uncharted. That's it. Nothing else. I don't use it for anything else. But if the Xbox doesn't release this year, I'm getting a PS4 at launch because I need the next generation. I'm done with this generation. It was trashy. It was like modern American, film. It's just reboots, and there's nothing original or good. There's very few of that. So, I was very impressed. I think it's going to be really tough to beat them this generation, even if Microsoft does announce at E3 and release this year. I think they're going to be extremely, extremely tough to beat, and that's coming from an Xbox guy. So I think that, as of right now, I think chances are Sony is going to win this generation, or this next generation, whatever. You know what I'm saying. It looks like they are going to win that, is the bottom line. Now, you never know what Microsoft could pull out, but I think the only two reasons that Sony lost last generation was because they released later and their launch lineup was garbage. They're announcing first at least, and will not, will at worst case scenario release at the same time, and the launch lineup looks pretty impressive. So they really leaves nothing for Microsoft to have on them, and especially considering that the PlayStation clearly won PlayStation 2 versus the original Xbox. Sony was clearly the winner of that. So it looks like that's the way that it's heading. And as an Xbox guy, I could very well easily split myself evenly, or even turn towards Sony if the Xbox doesn't deliver. So it's going to be tough because I am an Xbox guy. I always have been. My Gears, my Halo, my Left 4 Dead. Of course, if I turn to Sony, I'll just hit up some Steam for my Left 4 Dead. You know, all that kind of stuff. But that's my take on it. I know I'm late getting this out. A lot of information that you should check out for yourself to see, relevant of what kind of a player you are. I think looking into maybe being a PS4 guy is something to look into, especially with the stuff that they've announced for it. So that, I don't know. That's my take on it. Just my little 2 cents. I thought I'd let everybody know. So if you think I'm an idiot about something, because I said a lot of pretty strong statements in this, let me know. I'd actually love to hear about you guys, and maybe I could look into some stuff and better knowledge myself. And also, what do you guys think about that launch lineup? I mean, I think it looks pretty sweet, especially if stuff like Watch Dogs is going to be, we know it's a multi-plat, but if that comes out at release of PS4, ooh, that's ready to release. That, I mean, stuff like that is just going to be insane. So what do you guys think about what Sony's announced? Do you think they're going to do well? How they're going to do against Microsoft? So like I said, I think they're going to be pretty dang tough to beat, irrelevant of the fact that I would like them to beat them, because I will be primarily an Xbox guy. So let me know what you think, and I hope you guys have a good one.